Welcome to Elkhart Rotary. Terry Ripple with our invocation, four-way test, and the pledge.
Thank you, Eric. Oh, it's beautiful out here. Oh. Individual. Okay, four-way test. Is it true? Is it fair to all concerned? Will it build goodwill and better friendships? Will be beneficial to all concerned? Thanks for being here.
Oh, those of you at home, I'm sorry you missed that. Me trying to tie the flag to a pole. Okay, excellent. I know that we have some guests today, and I would love to invite Wayne Benedict up here to do an introduction of our guests. And judging by the look on Wayne's face, he's going to grab the sheet and he's going to come here and tell us who's with us today. There you go.
All right.
Step right up here and you see you can.
All right. So we have Elsie Smith, Mary Ann Weiss, Sarah Cole, and they came with Melinda Conrad. Welcome. We have Eric Sitteding that came with Jack Sitteding. Welcome as well. We have Daniela Pineda, and she came with Ashley Bowen. Welcome. We got Johnny Boak, and she came with Ann McCussion. Welcome. And the last one but not least, we got Rick Payne, and he came with Scott Puckett. Welcome.
Thank you, Cotty, very much for reading those off. And I have to ask Eric Sittedine, how do you spell your name? Is it with a C? It is spelled correctly. That's good. Welcome. Welcome to Wellfield and welcome to our Rotary Club meeting today. Great to see guests. Eric, are you out of school today? Excellent. Excellent. Good deal. Elkhart County Schools back in session. Watch the roads on the way home. Service announcement. Could be someone 17 years old. Okay. If anyone has any announcements, please bring yourself up here and you can make those. And I forgot to announce that with us today online are Sharon Herstein, Tina Weldy, and Tom Neat. Thanks for joining us. And those of you who could not make it today, Tina, Sharon, Tom, it is a beautiful day out at Wellfield. I'd say there's about 400 people here. It's a great crowd. You can hear them. They're making a lot of noise. It's a good day to be out here, and no rain is nice. Really quickly, I wanted to mention for Donna, the chair of the committee, she and I met with applicant David Bossart. David, are you here today by chance? I'm not sure. I couldn't. We have sent his application out to the membership committee, and overwhelmingly affirmative responses indicate that David will be an applicant and an accepted applicant pending a 5-day comment period from our membership. Have anything to say? I think this is the speak now or forever hold your situation. So. A 5-day comment period. We had a board meeting on Friday, the 13th at Elkhart Health and Aquatics. It was really nice to see so many people in person. We are going to do what the Elkhart Health and Aquatics asked us to do.
Really?
Um,
They're having trouble. There's a microphone that comes and goes out there at the well field.
Oh.
Oh, neat. I'm gonna mute you here. Mute. There you go. All right. And next Monday, we will be having David Balkin. He's the chancellor with Ivy Tech, and he's going to be joining our club meeting virtually. He will be joining our club meeting virtually as he will not be allowed to come visit us in person. So we will do that meeting virtually, and we'll see how that goes. So, additional
5-star. One, if anyone doesn't know, the old Bellowood Camp east of Union, a mile is the summit, which is the 5-star leadership facility. And I spend 700, 800, 900 hours a year out there gardening the water lilies and lotus. We have about 100 different in the 120-foot pool out there. If anyone would have interest in the next 2 or 3 or 4 weeks, seeing them since they're at prime time, give me a call. Thanks.
All right, well, this Thursday is Thirsty Thursday, and so it's our after hours gathering for Rotary. We'll be at Artisan on Main Street. We'll gather at about 5 o'clock, and there's usually Rotarians there for about an hour and a half. Come and go as you please, bring a guest, and you want to become a Rotarian. We'll see you Thursday. Awesome, thanks, Pete. And if you haven't heard Pete's spiel on Thirsty Thursdays, I can really attest to it. I don't make it regularly, but I will say you get to know your fellow Rotarians better in over a glass of wine or beer in 20 to 30 minutes than you probably get the chance in 5 or 6 different meetings sitting with the same people. So I highly encourage you all to get out there and check that out. I would also really encourage checking out the morning divisions meetings on Thursday morning. They're at the Aquatic Center. Great opportunity to get to know some of our fellow club members, get to see a presentation or two from speakers that you might not have heard, and get to know what's up. One of the things that they do quite a few of are Boot Lake service dates. And we'll be announcing those very shortly. We'll be able to have the opportunity to go out. Typically, those are done on Saturday mornings. So if you have a little time and you want to do a little bit of volunteering where you get your hands dirty, that's a great way to do it. We'll get those dates out to everyone. And also our own service project, Tom MacArthur. I know I'm not going to hold you on the spot for a date, but I know we have one Saturday in October that we're going to be doing our County Road 6 cleanup. Is that correct? Yes. Do you have a date? No, no date yet. Stay tuned. Stay tuned for that. Okay. And okay, a month or two ago, time flies when there's not enough of it, we gave away a whole lot of money at one of our meetings to our local not-for-profit partners. And on a weekly basis, we've been getting them signed up to come and tell us a little about how our support has helped their project as well as what it's doing in the community. And today, I would like Sarah Cole, the Director of Community Education, and she'll be talking today about Prevent 360.
Good afternoon, Elkhart Rotary Club. Thank you so much for having us here today. As he said, I am Sarah Cole. I'm the Director of Community Education at COPS. And we provide trainings on the prevention of child abuse and neglect. And that's what I'm here to talk about a little bit about today, to tell you guys a little bit about Darkness to Light, which is one of the partners in the Prevent 360, and how we've been using the generous funds that the Rotary Club awarded to us to help protect children in our community. So just a little introduction on what Darkness to Light is. Darkness to Light provides a multitude of trainings to help protect kids and keep them safe. Their vision is very much in sync with CAP's vision to protect children and families. And as I said, the funding that the Rotary provided had provided us the opportunity to purchase some virtual codes so that we can reach out even more to the community. And also, as we all know, with the effect of COVID-19, we've had a lot of our training that was virtual. We are starting the process of transferring back to some in-person training, but it's good to have both that virtual option and the in-person option so we can expand our reach into the community. So just to let you guys know a little bit more about the training and what you have funded. We'll talk about the 5 steps. So Darkness to Light bases their training on the 5 steps. And I'm going to start with step 1. So step 1 is learn the facts. So just like everything, if you don't know the facts, then you're not able to prevent things. So if you don't know the facts about childhood sexual abuse, you're not able to prevent it. And just a statistic for you, 1 in 10 children is sexually abused. So it's likely that you either know a child who has been sexually abused, or an adult who is a survivor of childhood sexual abuse, or even a child who is currently being abused. So the effect, unfortunately, is everywhere. And that's part of the training that we're trying to prevent more children from being abused. The second step is to minimize opportunity. More than 80% of childhood sexual abuse could be prevented if we find ways to make interactions observable and interruptible. There are a lot of different places that you may not think of, like, oh, this could be a concern, but think of like a piano lesson where the piano teacher is one-on-one with the child. Well, it would be very easily in that interaction for that to either be, the parent could either be watching it on a camera, or the parent could be sitting in the back of the room, could be watching it. If you had a Sunday school class and 1 week only 1 child showed up, well, then you automatically would make that so that either there are 2 adults in the room, or that child is moved into a different Sunday school class. So, and we talk about in the training lots of different ways to make sure that interactions are observable or interruptible to keep kids safe. The third step is to talk about it. Talking about childhood sexual abuse breaks down the barriers and the stigma. Since it's sexual abuse and how our culture is, we tend to be more like not wanting to talk about that. But the important thing is to talk about it, let people know what they can do to prevent it, so that we can break down any kind of stigma or situations like that. So talking openly about our bodies, sex, boundaries, those are the things that we need to talk about in order to protect children. The next step is step 4, and that's to know the facts. The signs of abuse aren't always obvious, but they are often there. You will often see behavior or emotional changes as opposed to physical signs. There can be physical signs, but it's more often people will notice either a behavior or emotional change. And what we may think of as bad or misbehavior can often be rooted in trauma. So if a child is starting to misbehave or their behavior is it's definitely a good thing to check into, has something happened in that child's life that has traumatized them, especially if that's just a behavior that starts to happen, because that could be a sign that they're being abused. And step 5 is to react responsibly. It's our responsibility as adults to protect kids, to respond responsibly to suspicions, disclosures, and the discovery of abuse. Another statistics, 92 to 96% of all reports of sexual abuse are true. So it's a very small percentage of those that are found to be untrue. So it's important that when either a child discloses or the suspected abuse, that we believe it, because it's more than likely that it is definitely true. And if you are interested in learning more about the trainings, if you would like to take the trainings virtually, you can email our program assistant, Wilma Small, and she will send you a code to do that. I also have flyers if people are interested so that you will have that information. And we have, in addition to the Stewards of Children that I mentioned at the beginning, where we go through the 5 steps, that's kind of their overarching beginning training. In addition to that, we have other trainings that are available. So feel free to reach out if you're interested in those. And we offer them not only any of the trainings that we offer virtually, we can also offer in person. So we are offering in-person trainings. September 9th, we'll offer the Stewards of Children, which is that flagship training on the prevention of childhood sexual abuse. And then on September 10th, we will offer recognizing and reporting child abuse and neglect. So that training covers all types of child abuse or neglect. So physical, emotional, sexual neglect, not only knowing the signs, but then also how to report to the Department of Child Services if you have a suspicion or if a child discloses child abuse or neglect to you. So I have flyers. If you would like to contact us, the contact information is on the flyer. And we thank you so much for letting us come today and your support of CAPS.
Thank you very much, Sarah. And my apologies for walking behind you while you were speaking there. Did anyone who might have come after we started not get lunch and would like lunch? We have a delicious vegetarian sandwich, mozzarella, tomato, salad up here, and water. Anybody? Oh, and I got your salad, Aaron, right here. There you are, Aaron. Sure. Thank you for being. I just want to make sure I was on camera. Service above self. What we're all about here. Speaking of service, cookie, you didn't get a cookie? I can throw it. I can throw it far. Oh, Tony Warning, here it comes, man. It's frisbee style. Hey, Tiger. This is why Carlos, Sharon, Tina, Tom Pletcher, you really got to start coming to meetings because there's going to be things flying. Anyone need extra condiment packets? I think you're okay. And oh, that's Tony Warning's second cookie. I really just needed to empty this box because we need a basket. We need a basket for your cash, for your Rotary bucks. Jim is coming up to grab the box and we'll be distributing it throughout. And I hope we fill that up. And if we do, I'll shoot this thing of pasta right here and we'll use this for extra fun. No coins allowed. All right, so every week. I love that. People are just grabbing for cash. That's awesome. So every week we raise a little bit of money to help support a fund that we create in order to help our local not-for-profits in the great work that they do, therefore extending the good that we do in our community. So with no further ado, today's sergeant, an amazing man among us, Bob Schultz. Bob even pulled his sunglasses down for that. That's probably going to cost me. Let's give it up for Bob Schultz. Oh, there we go. Good, good. That's right. It's a nice spot up here. All right. There you go, Bob.
Anybody else doesn't, not sure if that's either one of those. I was off. Public service announcement. Put things out. The corner of County Road 17 in Bristol. How many of you visit that corner occasionally? Coming on Bristol Street, you're going to turn right to go across the bridge. Your light is red, the lights are green going the other way, north and south. How many stop and look to the left to see if there's a car coming? $5. There's a quarter-mile merge lane there. Do not stop. I saw someone crashed in there just on Sunday. So that was yesterday. So please, public service announcement, make sure you do not stop at that intersection. Thank you very much. And honk your horn at the people that do. A couple of Wellfield tidbits for us today. Wellfield Gardens, of course, started by Rotarians, us Rotarians. And it is a wonderful place. Who'd have thunk it, and people ought to have had a lot better vision than I do. I think it's a great place. I have a couple of questions about the Wellfield Gardens. Approximately how many visitors within 5,000, Mo Jacobson and Mel Jacobson, you can confer on this, did we have in 2020? You pick you're the older brother. You get to pick whether you're dumb or dumber. This is within 5,000. Just take a wild stab. A. No guess. Not even going to guess. Well, you're about not quite half right. It's 60,000. And I thought that's wunderbar. So that's $2 for everybody. If you didn't participate in the max out of the County Road 17, $2. Also, there are grazing in the Wellfield Gardens some bisons, or as we used to call them, buffalo today. Let me see. Shannon White. How many bison are lurking in the Wellfield Gardens? That's a nice guess, but it's incorrect. 3. 1, 2, and the children's garden makes 3. So that'll be $1. Good that you should know that. Let's see. Chuck Grodnick. Plant a lot of annual bulbs in the Wellfield Gardens every year. Just the annual bulbs. How many annual bulbs are planted in the Wellfield Garden? You're within 1,000. That's safe so far. Bingo! 10,000. How about that? For that knowledge, that's $1. Lucky that he got it right, Ed Miller. There are a lot of different kinds of species in this beautiful place. Within 100, how many different species of plants are in? Within 100, take a wild guess. A lot of flowers. Yeah, that's true. Can you narrow it down a little bit? Pardon? How about another bingo? Look at this. These guys are on fire. $1 anyway. Let's see here. Oh, one other question, completely unrelated to the well field. It's for my final Jeopardy question answer. There are lots of things that we use that come from sports or hobbies or something like that enter their way into life, like you strike out, or maybe didn't get to first base. But I digress. There's a term that many of you who are probably under 50 do not know, which is knuckle down. You better knuckle down and get this done. Anybody remember that when they were kids? Anyway, can somebody tell me where that term comes from? Pardon? No, we're close. But no cigar. Marbles, that's exactly correct. Professor Citadine knew the answer. Not marbles. You had to put your knuckle on the ground when you're shooting marbles. Didn't? You're cheating. Nobody wants to cheat. So if you didn't max out, please do. But that's $1. Thank you, ladies and gentlemen. Short and sweet because we have a wonderful, wonderful presentation. Gentlemen, the
Thank you very much for that. Can tell you this. On Sunday, this Sunday, we have fourth Sunday in August, 11 a.m., 6 p.m., Taste of the Gardens. If you would like to, right over there by Larry and Donna, leaning against the garbage can. You can grab one of and go put this out in your yard. Or if your yard doesn't get a lot of traffic in front of it, go put it in a yard that does get a lot of traffic in front of it. No, don't do that. Don't get in trouble. Don't sit back and let it happen. But if you'd like to take one, please take one, and we can bring those back at any of the meetings that happen after the 22nd. That would be appreciated. Okay. So this Sunday, 22nd of August, the fourth Sunday, just as we've had it for several years now, we have our wonderful Taste of the Gardens event. And I think, Terry, what did you say? It was the 12th? Does that include last year or that took it out of there? So we would have been lucky number 13, but because of the pandemic hiatus, it's really just the 12th. Not just, it is the 12th. It's such a great event. It was all started by the Elkhart Rotary Club in support of and it's grown and grows every year. Some years it's hot, some years it's perfect, other days it's threatening rain, but it's always a great time. So thank you to all of you who have gotten this going over the years. And before we really get started on the different areas, I wanted to take time to put this on. So in addition to all your help as volunteers, I would like to recognize that many of you probably already know, but if you haven't, Jody Tappenberg is right there in the green shirt, although that doesn't make much reference. Jody's waving. I didn't get the memo. Green shirt, but I like it. Jody has been our visitor services and volunteer manager here for going on. It's awesome. Jody's done a fantastic job. I know many of you know her, but if you would like to get signed up for Taste of the Gardens, you can see Jody We can get you on the list. It's a great day. Sitting beside her is Cherie Hughes. She is our office administrator, and you all know that that is a person who does a whole lot of different things, especially at a not-for-profit. Any of you have memberships at the garden or have likely made a donation to the garden know that Cherie probably speaks more people's names than just about any. Cherie is helping out with sales of tickets for Sunday, helps out with a bunch of other things. So Cherie, where's your name again? That's Cherie Hughes. Thank you so much, Cherie. On her right, your left, Nina Cunningham, the visitors cottage manager. And Nina is in front of all the front of house stuff. So entry to the garden, special event ticketing, that's Nina. So again, she just helped out with some of these. We like to go as paperless as possible with our cooking. So if you know the names of your guests, we can add those in there so that they'll know. Otherwise, you can have guests coming to this event and we'll simply be guests of Scott Parker. I expect you to purchase 100 tickets. That's perfect. You can have a bunch of guests in town. And newer staff that we have to the garden on well, they're moving. It's making me hard. There you go. Okay. On your right is Michelle Simmons. Michelle is our staff accountant and does a fantastic job in the accounting office, comes to us with a wealth of experience, terrific accounting experience. And Michelle handles all those other. Thank you so much. In the middle, Chrissy Cornell. Chrissy is our new education coordinator and doing a fantastic job preparing for the fall and school field trips. She's already done quite a few more field trips and different events. And we've done in the past, and of course, she'll be out here helping out with it. And Carla Beasley is on your left. And Carla is our community projects coordinator and is just doing a fantastic job of connecting and making sure that what we do in alignment with our mission, which includes growing community, makes sense. So we work with a lot of community partners. So that is really what Carla is focused on. She also works with all of those groups when they come on site, including private groups and weddings and receptions and things like that. So Carla, facility rentals here, and Carla, thank you. You did a fantastic job. I'm not missing anyone over there, right? Anybody else? Okay. So thank you for coming back. I called back. All right, always good to be able to introduce the staff at Welfare. And I know you all appreciate seeing the growth of this place, and those staff are just wonderful staff to be able to take things that we need to take care of. Okay, so that is a little bit. So you need to get signed up for volunteering. You need to purchase tickets to. And I will pull out the media ready. We have a whole lot of functional changes for those of you who will it be your first taste of the gardens if you're either coming to it as a guest or as a volunteer. So Aaron, Wayne, perfect. I think a lot of you have seen it before, and that's awesome. Basically, guys, it is a day of food, fun, live music, and art, not necessarily now. So we have live music going all day, starting just after the event starts at 11:30, running all the way to 5:30 and 6 o'clock. So this year, the music lineup starts with the Q Sonics at 11:30. Some of you may have seen them. They've been at the Jazz Festival a few times. They actually perform in our weekly Groovin' in the Gardens event series. They were, I think, earlier in July. And then we're bringing in Paul Decker and the Real Deal. Paul, another one of our fairly regular but always backed by popular demand performers here at Groovin' in the Gardens. And we're going to be ending with the Whistle Pigs. So the Whistle Pigs are always a great draw for us at Wellfield. Whistle Pigs are fun. They've got a great crowd. And quite a few into the case of the Gardens too. So that will be right here. You notice we've done a little different setup this year. We didn't do the big tent over the area. The rationale behind that is for all of the Groovin' concerts as well. Yeah, especially during the pandemic, it wasn't seeming like everyone necessarily wanted gathering underneath, even though it was open on the sides, somewhat of a closed space. And that makes sense. And as the Delta variant continues, and literally we're still not out of this, we're going to go with that. And also, one of the other reasons is people like to have open sky above them too. If you're worried about the rain, bring an umbrella. The rain, it's great for shade as well. But these trees throughout the day, this is a pretty nice area, especially later in the afternoon. You start to get the shade from that big oak coming across. The same thing right here where Dave and Mel and Mo are all sitting. That's another great spot to get a lot of shade. It also allows us to sort of spread the people out and around. So that's what the music is for. There's about a 45-minute break between each to allow the sets and the musicians to change over, reset. But really, there'll be a lot of good stuff going on throughout the day here at the music area. Where we're at, right out in this tent, will be a Navarre catering bar. And so this is where kind of a central location where if you're volunteering here, or if you want to come get something to drink, this is a great space to do that. And then walking anywhere in the garden. The artist section, and Mandy, how are we doing numbers wise artists? Do we have 40 plus? They were close to that. Yeah, high 30s, around 40 different artists. And the way we've always build this is it is a fine art and it's juried. So all of the artists that submit to be in the show, they actually do submit samples of their work, and a small group, a committee looks at those and determines whether or not they think it's of the quality that in the show. Always fun when it's of good quality. As much when it's not, and we have to do rejection letters. Those are never too fun. It's very few. It helps in keeping integrity of it. So artists will be checked in starting early in the morning. Sort of stagger them in. Not everyone is arriving at the same time. Seems to work out very well. They all come in through gate A, which is just on the north side of the visitor's cottage. So that's for your reference. It's always really helpful that everybody knows, where folks come in. So we have both volunteer check-in and artist check-in at gate A. And Nina and John are considering some changes to this. No changes with admission and volunteer check-in and all that good stuff? This is the chance. No changes. Okay. Yes. So we are dealing with a wild card. You all experienced it, and it's been kind of an interesting summer with respect to the construction that's gone on. I haven't been overly excited to talk about it. We don't broadcast it out there. You notice they got a great start on it, and everyone is probably familiar with what they're doing. So it's a necessary project. Never good timing for these things, but what they're doing is they're replacing an 18-inch water line that runs on the west side of the street, kind of behind the sidewalk. They're basically taking that one out of service and they're putting a 24-inch water line in the southbound lane. And that's going all the way from the public works, where the administration building is right there on the south side of the creek. And it's running about 150 feet north of the Simonton intersection. So there's just no good way for any of that to happen. We've been trying to work and get communication as closely as we can with Niblock and the city of Elkhart. Niblock is I'd say a friend of Wellfield here, and we know the superintendent fairly well. We noticed that they were tearing up the intersection without really fixing the bottom half of it. So the idea we thought was that they would have things cleaned up a little bit on this end so we could just change, but yeah, it's not going to happen. And there was a part missing. So apparently a 24-inch valve that was a little more specialized was literally and figuratively on a slow boat from China during the pandemic and the supply chains being interrupted. So we're understanding that they're just about ready to go. We think that part may have come in. They loaded some equipment in on Friday. But with that, just know that we're going to have to be reactive, as proactive as we can try to be. We're going to try to be keep everyone apprised, but really until the weekend, we're not going to know what it's going to look like. No use changing our plan on Tuesday. When just be patient with us on that. And if you hear from other folks, just let them know that the big point of this is that the Dometic parking lot, which has been our main lot north, the kitty corner from us north and to the east across 15, that still is the primary parking lot for the public. We will have ADA parking available in our lot. It's going to be tight, and we're going to try to make it work. We will also have the lot across the street for vendor parking, and that's the lot that's owned by Andy Spikes, so we'll have access to that. But as you know, the street itself is not very good, so it's not very accessible. It definitely wouldn't be accessible for ADA parking in the past. Everyone in there. A ton from artists talking about the street. We will have kind of I'm not sure if we're going to do one lane sort of in the north and not the south. It looks like we'll probably do that on heads nodding, and we'll try to see if we can get Niblock to clean things up a little bit. We do know that Main Street at the intersection of Simonton is going to be ugly. We're going to have them try to flatten it out as much as we can, but it's definitely not great for wheelchairs and probably not even strollers and things like that. But we'll do the best we can. Yes, Susan. Absolutely. So the question Susan had was, will we communicate routing in and out and a little map? Yes, the answer is yes. Food. We've got some restaurants. It may not be 15, it probably be right around 10. And one of the things that we've been talking with and some of the folks on our committee that have the restaurants is that they said, make sure you have a little asterisk that says subject to change. You know how things can happen, and I want to since you're here, Kurt, I always want to thank you. From the bar hospitality, we're going to have Artisan and Rocky River Tap and Table, catering, and we'll have the bar service as well. And the bar will be in the regular location. And I know folks have been just as devastated as everybody else. I appreciate you having you can here in person. We do have some new restaurants and some different caterers coming. Soulful Kitchen out of South Bend is a caterer that will be here. We've got a couple of barbecue joints that should be that look good. There's also the other new piece is having Eads and Nash Burger Social, which I haven't heard of, but I have seen people have. Restaurants will go through gate D. So gate D is the south gate that we have on Main Street, entering that way. No real change. We talked about having this around the garden at one point, back when we were thinking the pandemic would still be raging. And sure enough, it's still raging, but it's a little different than it has been before. So we're hoping in the garden, we will have a 65 now as we had, but what we're not going to do tables. We want to encourage people to actually get out to the round. And we want to encourage people to walk, and we're encouraging that also through the restaurants of having things that are to walk with. So not necessarily something you have to have two hands over a plate on a table in order to cut it. So that's something that we're trying to do, but we want to discourage as much close gathering as we can, even though it's outside. We don't bad events. So we will do our best to keep people separated. New this year, something we're doing, admittedly somewhat last minute. We're going to do a little English cottage garden market. And we've got some vendors that don't quite fit the fine art aspect of things, but they're local artisanal products and accessories, including some flowers. So people will be able to take some fresh flowers home. There's a couple things that we wanted to experiment with, and also do a bit in and what better time to try that than 2021? After a year off, people have forgotten what's what. They will also be entering through gate D. Similar setup to the artists. They pay us a fee. They have their booths, but their booths are going to be along the North Promenade on the north side, all the way down toward the waterfall. So that'll be easy access for them. You know, it'll be a little louder right here. So having a little bit. Weather's looking okay. Right now, I think 30% chance of rain, something like that for Sunday. We'll see how it goes. You know how it is. It won't matter. People will come. They'll bring an umbrella, and at least it's not going to be snowing or freezing. So it's just water. I hate the rain. The plants love the rain, but we can find somewhere in the middle. It's really rained. We needed it to rain. Our new horticulture and consumer secrets out high. So we'll probably disagree with me on that. So we're trying to do it. This is a terrific event. One of the things that we had done this year that we made a change to, we decided as a committee early on, was in the past, we have done a split, and this is part of the fundraising portion for the restaurant. Most of the day, we do a split with that. We did not feel right in asking restaurants in as tough a year and a half as they've had, we couldn't ask for them to give up some of their money. especially when a lot of support staff are having a hard time getting bodies out here. So this year, restaurants are receiving 100% of the revenue that they get. And they're still going to sell tickets for them, so they'll still be able to purchase tickets right up here in the event plaza. It's one location, the main location that's done. Many of you see that. That's they can come to increments and they can sell different increments. And then they give those to the restaurants. Our volunteers then collect those and count them, and then we write them a check. It also helps them without having to. So not having to, it means a whole separate person. Being as tough as it is for every restaurant and caterer and food truck out there, this is something that was really helpful, and the response to it thus far has been good, especially for those who are new to the event. So one of the ways, and I want to single out Terry Rickle, because if you're a business person or individual with a checkbook, she probably talked. And Terry did a great job of getting our sponsorships for the exceeding budget. Terry, nice job, and thank you to everyone who stepped up. We'll be promoting that a little. The new design on the banners that are going to be hung on all the street lights. We have a little more colorful version here, so expect to see those. And just truly, thank you very much from me on behalf of the board and the staff. We're just very grateful. So again, thanks to those who said yes. What questions haven't I answered about the event? Same admission area through gate B, south of the visitors cottage. The ticket pricing, we increased that a little bit this year for a couple of reasons, including the fact that Florigami in the garden is still here. So Florigami has been great for us this year. It is, we have increased membership and attendance about 20% over 2019. We're throwing last year out because it's not, with kind of apples to oranges. But interestingly, we're showing similar increases in those two areas with another Origami in the Gardens exhibit that is at Missouri Botanical Garden in St. Louis. So we have what's called the fundamental exhibit, and it's basically smaller pieces. And Missouri Botanical has what's called the what's it called? It's big. The monumental. It's called the monumental exhibit. So our pieces are, a few feet high. Theirs are maybe tens of feet high. They too are showing increases of around 20% for admission and membership, which is really fascinating. So I could stand here all day and, sort of throw those correlations around. I like to think that that was a good reason as to why that was. We also know more people outside. That happened last year. Last year and previously. So what are other questions I can? Yes, Mr. Rickle. Gates open at 11 a.m. Unless you're a volunteer and here earlier for another trip. And at 6 o'clock, for those hanging around listening to Whistle Pigs, we release the hounds at 6:30. True story, my first garden had a guest ask me, I was cruising around at the end of the evening. True story, they lizards, rabbits, ground squirrels, maybe the occasional fox or coyote, birds. I wanted to know what time we gathered those up. I'm not going to tell you. I asked them where they were from. I'm not going to tell you what state they were from. This is not the right crowd for that. We're not going to say that. What other questions? Answer every question. Release. Oh, Susan, I'll send that out to everyone. We'll try to get the info out. It's going to be a great day, great weekend. Thanks to your help. Susan, one more question. Oh, thank you. Susan's thanking me for my enthusiasm and my leadership. I would like to thank caffeine. Caffeine by morning and night. Yeah, that's how we do this. So everybody, thanks for coming out for this meeting today. Thank you for parting the sunny seas right there. Good job with the hat, the ball cap, Jim Reckoff, keep the sun off your face. And Rotary is adjourned. Thanks, Sharon, for sticking with us. We'll see you another time.